Hello, eighth graders. Welcome to probably the largest and most interesting project that you're going to work on, at least this marking period, that probably for the year. So this is a blog project. You might be wondering, what is a blog? In short, a blog is a informal piece of writing from somebody online. A blog has become more formal over time, and now people can be professionally writing blogs, or in short, kind of an article on any topic, really. So this online format allows you to use images, allows you to use links, things like that. Now, this creating a blog student guide is very long. You're going to notice there are 4 pages of instructions, and that's a lot. So our goal today is for me to quickly break down what you actually have to do and show you how to do it using the format that they give you. Okay, so let's start with, what do I have to do? Your purpose is to create a blog about a social issue in your community. You get to choose what you're writing about. You could write about a very specific East Stroudsburg or Stroudsburg or Pike County related issue. You could talk about education. You could talk about funding for something. You could talk about bullying. You could talk about school lunches. You could talk about anything you want. Maybe your favorite comic store got shut down and you want to bring it back, right? Doesn't matter. It's whatever you care about. Okay. So choose a social issue. It says based on the texts that you've read in this course, but you can make anything out of what we've talked about in this course. Okay. We've talked about social justice. We've talked about persuasive topics. You've read about political and demographic issues. So anything you want, just pick it and write about it. It says to create a blog that expresses what your social issue is, why it's important to you, and why you would like people to get involved in the issue. So that means that you do need a call to action. This blog should be persuasive in some way. Use strong multimedia elements that support your viewpoint and encourage readers to interact with the post. If you link a video, if you have a picture, maybe there's some kind of connect the dots game that you found, right? You can get as creative as you want with this, all right? Now, this is where the assignment starts to get long. It says research a social issue and gives you a multi-step process here of choose a social issue to research, develop your viewpoint, create a list of questions, you share your viewpoint. Basically, what this is saying here, right, this step 1, this is all pre-writing, okay? So you have to develop your own pre-writing format on what to do. I'm not giving you a Venn diagram anymore. I'm not giving you a list of things to write about. You have to decide how you are going to pre-write. These are all suggestions. You don't have to do all of these. You can just pick one or do 2 or 3 of them, okay? This step of researching a social issue, this is just pre-writing. So these are all suggestions on ways you could pre-write. You do not have to do all of these. Same with these next steps. Use a template to start creating your blog. Write your name. Remember to save your work as you go. Write a title for your blog. There's suggestions. They're just reminding you to do these things. Consider it a checklist. And there actually is a checklist a little later. Okay, so in short, those are suggestions. Read through them and make sure that you're addressing these things, but don't panic about all this stuff, okay? Just read through them. Make sure you're doing things as you go. Okay, this I think is a fun one. Post a quick quiz. Invite readers to share their thoughts on a topic or poll your readers on a topic. For example, you can ask readers, how much homework do you get each night? Poll responses could include too much, too little, and just about right. Obviously, if you're not writing about homework, don't include a poll question that's completely unrelated. It should be related. So for instance, say you're writing about school lunches, right? Should school lunches be privatized, or should they be better for the kids? Should they be healthy? Or should school lunches be completely unregulated and kids can eat whatever they want? If you're writing about school lunches, your quiz question at the end should be related to school lunches. Okay, so you could have questions like, do you like your school lunches food? ? And somebody could write yes, no, blah, whatever, right? Make sure you cite your sources. So if you use information from somewhere else, make sure you copy the URL. Okay. Now here's a checklist. You can check each box below to ensure you're ready to submit your presentation. If you can't check all of these boxes, do not submit it. If you cannot check all these boxes, do not submit it. If you cannot check all these boxes, do not submit it. Okay? Make sure that it has everything. And I'm going to go through this one by one later. Finally, revise and submit your presentation. So in short, just these bold points are the things you need to pay attention to. All the things underneath, all these A, B, C, D, E, those are suggestions that you should read in order to know what to do, but you don't have to do all of them. Okay, this checklist at the end is the most important part of the instructions. Okay, so let's move on to the actual assignment itself. We're going to start with the grading. This is a very long rubric. I do not expect you to read it, but what you should know is that a perfect blog is going to have the following things. The viewpoint is well developed and relies on reasoning and evidence. You need to show me how you came to the conclusion that you did about the topic that you chose. If you write about school lunches and you just write that they're gross and you don't like them, I'm just going to toss it out, because you thinking that school lunch is gross and you don't like it is a pointless argument. I don't care if you don't like it and you think it's gross. Tell me why it matters, right? If most kids, based on a statistical study done by Johns Hopkins University, says that most kids find their school lunches gross and that has a negative effect on their well-being, now I care. But if you're just like, whole wheat pizza is gross, I'm just going to be like, get over it. I ate a whole wheat Pop-Tart for breakfast, okay? You don't see me whining about it, all right? Next. The progression of ideas is cohesive and logical. The structure is easy to follow and presents ideas in a way that effectively supports the purpose. Long story short, your organization should be good. Okay? Make sure that you move from one topic to another in a clear manner. Don't just go crazy and get distracted halfway through. Next one, powerful multimedia elements and precise word choice. Include some pictures. Text and multimedia evidence, text and multimedia elements creatively show a distinct personality, and the style is well matched to the viewpoint and topic. If you're a funny person and you want to make this funny, make it funny. If you're a serious person and you want to make this serious, make it serious. Basically, just make sure that you're making a fun original blog in your style, okay? Make it you. Last but not least, there are few or no errors in grammar, mechanics, punctuation, and spelling. So basically, make sure it's edited, make sure that there's not a bunch of commas and typos and things like that. If there is, it can take a bunch of points off your grade, okay? Up to 6, okay? Out of what? Out of 30? Okay, so that's what you should be looking for. Okay, so here is the blog itself. So I'm just going to slide this sucker on over. There we go. And then I'm going to actually start filling this out and show you how to make a blog. So here we have our blog diagram. Up here, it has name, teacher's name, and date. So I will show you how to fill this out. There we go. Joe Schmo, Mr. Orlando, March 12th, 2021. That is the date. Okay, and now I begin creating my blog. Notice that I'm doing this on Microsoft Word. That is the easiest way to fill this in, and that is the way that the blog is given to you. I am hoping that your Chromebooks can use this. I did not personally make this setup. It does work pretty well on my computer, which should have kind of the same thing as yours does, so hopefully this works. So what's your blog title? Your blog title should be catchy. It should be fun. I am going to write about disc golf. That's something that I am familiar with and something that I like. It's a sport that doesn't have, I think, as much attention as it deserves. It's a really fun sport. It's really cool. And it's a very inexpensive and basically almost free sport that anyone can do. So I think there's a lot of opportunity around here for that sport to get big. So I'm going to write about fun, right? Okay. It's a little bit clickbaity, but it's a blog. You can make it a little clickbaity. That's fine. Now, I need a picture. Okay, so I'm going to go onto Google and I'm going to search for disc golf pictures. So I'm going to try a banner here. Going to look for something a little wide. Innova Disc Golf, that's kind of a good representation of the sport. They could do the discgolf.com. I kind of want a picture of one of the baskets, though. Maybe somebody throwing. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's try this one. Oh, that's somebody else's banner. I can't take it, right? But you see what I'm doing here, right? I'm taking. Oh, here we go. That's a good one. Yeah, perfect. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to copy the image, toss it in here. And there we go. Awesome. Okay, so this isn't quite the right in the right position, so I'm just going to format it a little bit. Okay, so now that's centered, and then I need to say where I got this. So the picture is from this website. So now I'm going to put a. There we go. So now I have cited where I got this picture. All right, there we go. So title of blog entry. This is different than the blog itself because the blog would be, in theory, a continuously running list of running list of posts. Okay. So maybe maybe this is actually better as a first article title. So I'm going to change it. I like this better as an article title. And let's shrink that down. All right, and then I'll change my title here to something different. Let's go with, and I'm gonna go nice and big. Now I tend to like serif fonts like this. I tend to like, fonts that look nice. But it's a blog, we can get creative. So how you guys like to pick all kinds of fun fonts and you guys like to make different colors. You get to do that now. What? Yeah, so let's go Poconos, let's go green. Ooh, that's a fun one. Disc golf in the Poconos. That's a nice one. Yeah, that looks good. Disc golf in the Poconos. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Disc golf in the Poconos. Okay, the best sport you never heard of, disc golf. What date is it? Today is the same date, 3/12/21. And now I get to write my blog entry here. I should make a claim about the topic, write about the evidence, address the counterclaims and respond to them, blah, 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 blah. I will not bore you with how I come up with my topic, but I will write a brief paragraph here for you. Okay, so I have taken a couple of minutes now and written out a blog. You will notice that I had to add several more sections to get across my point. So I had to add 1, 2, 3 text boxes in order to write everything I wanted to write. And you'll see that I have a screenshot here as a picture that I added. Okay, so your article should do a couple of things. It should address a claim. It should address a counterclaim, and it should have some kind of call to action, okay? Because a blog really is interactive. You do want people to engage with your blog. You want them to come back and read more. All right. So as I wrote about this, I discovered that the original title that I came up with, The Best Sport You Never Heard of, doesn't really fit what I wrote, okay? So I need to change my title. Now, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you here is that nothing you write is set in stone. I've already changed the title of my blog. I changed the title of my article, and now I'm going to change the title of my article again, right? My blog post really ended up a little different than I thought it was going to be. So instead, it should be something along the lines of disc golf is the perfect Pocono family sport. That's fine. That's good. That's nice. And again, let's make this pretty. Let's add maybe an outline. Let's maybe go with gonna add a shadow, an outline. Yeah, let's add a little outline. There we go. Disc golf is the perfect Pocono family sport. Okay, so I'm going to read to you my blog post. I do not expect all of you to write a blog post this in depth. I happen to know a lot about disc golf and I very much enjoy the sport. So I have a lot of information that was readily available to me. I did cite some sources. Okay, so I added those down here with the works cited. Okay, so here I have 3 works cited. That's perfectly acceptable. And here we go. Disc golf has been quickly spreading across America like syrup on hot pancakes. Since 2004, the number of disc golf courses in America has grown roughly 300%, from 1,700 courses to 4,000 courses. The Pocono area should commit to adding more courses as a low-cost option for sport enthusiasts and families. For many, this might come as a surprise, as the number of regular golf courses has been on a steady decline for the past several years, losing almost 1,000 courses across the country. What makes disc golf different? In short, it comes down to cost, learning curve, and accessibility. Disc golf plays exactly like regular golf, but with one key difference. It uses discs instead of clubs and balls. These discs cost only a few dollars each, and players only need 3 to get started. Additionally, the game is incredibly easy to learn. Unlike regular golf, disc golf is played by throwing a frisbee-shaped disc towards a metal basket, pictured above. All right, so there you go. See that? Everyone knows how to throw a frisbee, so learning to play only takes a few minutes. Finally, the game is accessible to almost everyone, with most courses in the US being free or extremely low cost to access. The courses are set up in local parks or managed by the county, providing a low-cost alternative to regular golf. Now, I've interspersed the picture in the middle of my article to break it up a little bit. But why should the Pocono area get involved? Part of the reason it should get involved is that it already is. There are 19 currently open disc golf courses between Dingman's Ferry, Bethlehem, and Pittston. These courses, while mostly free, vary widely in quality. Some, like Field of Dreams or Jordan Creek, near 5-star ratings with hundreds of reviews. Others, like Echo Lake, have few reviews, some of which are quite poor. I can say from personal experience that they deserve those reviews. Now, you will notice that I have a slight grammatical error in here. Some, like Field of Dreams or Jordan Creek, have near 5-star reviews. Okay. So I needed to edit that for accuracy. Okay. So now I need to adjust this a little bit. Okay. The terrain is rough, the course is hard to follow, and the tee boxes are poorly maintained. These conditions might push people out of the sport before they begin. The Poconos has built its name on tourism and family-friendly outdoor fun. Disc golf fits the bill perfectly, but it needs support from people like you. If you haven't tried disc golf out yet, grab a disc, head to a highly rated local park, and give it a try. If you have nothing to lose, and possibly lots to gain from a new, healthy, quickly growing hobby. Okay, so there we go. That's my article. You'll notice that I did address some counterclaims. Okay, so I addressed that golf is shrinking, but disc golf is growing. I also addressed the issue of local courses kind of not always being up to par and say, no pun intended, up to par. That's a good one. But yeah, you should go out and try it, right? That's my argument. Now here, what I have not yet included is a question. Okay, you notice I put a little section here for a comment. Write a poll, question, or survey that connects to the topic to find out what your readers are interested in. Okay, so I need to ask a question about disc golf. Now, this is going out to people who have not yet played disc golf. Okay, so my survey needs to be appropriate for them. My audience needs to be able to answer this. If I ask a question that's about disc golf that only really people who have played disc golf can answer, then kind of a problem, right? So I'm going to ask a question like, right? So those are some questions that you can ask. Now, one thing you want to do with your blog is make sure that it's filled up nicely. Okay, so I think I'm going to include another picture here somewhere. Okay, and there we go. The Field of Dreams disc golf course with an image credit to Richard Pilkington on Google Maps. So there we go. And now my blog is just about done. That took me about 35 minutes, okay, to go from my title, to go through the disc golf, to edit this so that it looks nice. I changed my title a couple of times. I got a couple of pictures, and oh, my lights turned off. And to fill in my works cited. Literally took me about 35 minutes. Now, again, you don't have to write something this long, but you do need to include all of the relevant topics. Okay, so finally, the last thing I'm going to do in this very long video, I am sorry, is check the checklist here and make sure that I have everything. So does the blog include your name, teacher's name, and due date? Yes, it does. Does it include a title that lets the readers know what my blog is about? Yes, it does. Does your blog entry include a title that entices readers? Yes, it does. Does your blog entry make a claim and support that claim with facts, statistics, personal stories, or quotations from experts on the topic? Yes, not just one of these, but it supports it with facts, statistics, and personal stories from myself. Does your blog entry address counterclaims? Yes, it does. The cost and the quality. Does your blog entry conclude with ideas about how to solve the problem presented in your blog? Yes, it does. It says to go out there and play disc golf. Does your blog include multimedia components? Yes, it does. Does your blog attempt to increase the reader's interaction through quizzes, thought-provoking questions, or comment section or polls? Yes, it does. And did you cite your research on the works cited page? Yes, it does. I can now turn in this paper to myself, obviously. But maybe I'm not done. Maybe I want to have a little bit more fun with my images. Maybe I want to spice it up, add some color, add more pictures, whatever, right? At this point now, I can just have fun with it, right? Now that I've done everything, as long as I don't take away, any of the content, I can just have fun with it. So I want you to have fun with it too. This is a project that you get to write about something that you love, that you care about in the area, that you want to share. It doesn't have to be as silly or as lighthearted as mine. It could be much more serious if you want, but it can also be lighthearted and silly. So I think that's fun too. All right. Hopefully this helped you. I'm going to export this. As you can see, it's not quite perfect, but I would give this a perfect grade if a student turned this into me. Okay, so I'm going to upload this with maybe a couple more fun little edits, and you can use this as a template for your own if you would like. Okay, I'm going to upload it as a PDF, so you're going to have to do all the editing yourself. All right, but then that way you can still read it and it will look nice when you download it. Okay, thank you for watching all the way through to the end if you did. Hopefully this gave you a very clear picture of what to do, how to do it, and what is expected of your blog project. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.